Hello everyone! Today we're going to be creating castles using some simple materials to print make. On the back of your paper, of course, you'll want to write your name and class code. Your teacher can show you some inspirational castles made by artists like Blair or Klee. For supplies today, we're going to be using black paint and cardboard to print and create our boxes. So to begin with, I'm just going to dip my long side in my tray, getting paint on the whole edge. And now I want to think about building like castle walls. So I might print a line there and a line there. And I can use the short end to go across and maybe make this into sections. And you're just going to continue doing this, making your castle block by block, thinking about how tall it's going to be, how many shapes are going to be stacked on it. You could also start to use different shapes like triangles. Maybe this one's going to have a little flag. And once you have the main parts of your castle, then you'll want to go back in and start to add more details. Like perhaps I'll do an X here and here. I also will have some circle tools so you can stamp round shapes. When you're all done building the blocks and adding some designs, you'll put this on the drying rack and we'll let it dry before we can add color. For coloring our castles, we're going to be using chalk pastels. Chalk pastels are similar to sidewalk chalk, but the colors are a little bit brighter. They are messy, so we'll want to be careful about trying to not get them on our clothes. The dust is also bad because the chalk, as you can see, starts to make a little bit of a dust. And what we don't want to do is blow that at our neighbors. We also don't want to wipe the dust off because it will tend to smear. So as you're coloring, just ignore the dust for now. And then you could always walk your art over to the garbage can and just kind of give it a little shake over the can. But you're going to color in, and you want to think about where else could I use the color I'm using. Like right now I have this pretty light blue, so I'm going to kind of hop around and use the blue in a few different places, trying to stay inside the lines best I can. As you're working with the chalk pastels, you'll notice your hands are going to start to get messy, and you want to try to avoid adding fingerprints to your background. If you want to keep a piece of paper towel by you, you can kind of use that on your fingers. Another thing is you can use your fingertip and you can kind of rub to smooth in and help fill in some of your coloring. So if you missed a few spots as you were coloring, you can just kind of smooth them out and fill them in like that. And you can see that's going to definitely give your finger some color. So have fun coloring your castle first. When you are done coloring your castle, you'll want to think about what to do with your background. Is your background going to be where the castle is, like a sky, maybe some water, maybe some grass or hills? Or are you going to do kind of a bright, fun colored background with like polka dots or stripes? For my background, I think I'm going to try to make it look like there's a glow happening behind my castle. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with yellow. I'm going to color a yellow line around my castle. Okay, now with a clean finger that doesn't have any other colors, so maybe I'll use my pinky finger. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my finger on the yellow and I'm gonna pull out away from the castle, trying to smudge the yellow into the orange into the background paper. There. And then I could continue that and end up filling in the rest of my background. And if you have any details that you need to add last minute, like coloring the flag or so on and so forth, feel free to do that. I hope you enjoy making these castles using 2 different materials and 2 different techniques.